The woman you see on the screen here's name is Lauren Quay. She is a 23-year-old New York City paramedic who also simultaneously runs, or ran rather, an OnlyFans page. You see, the reason I had to correct myself there and use the past tense of run instead is because recently the New York Post ran an absolute smear job against her because of that fact. An article on the Post basically attacked her for this, and the author of said article, Dean Balsamini, interviewed her under false pretenses. He was very disingenuous and he gave her the impression that he was giving her voice. She could speak out as a paramedic who had a shit wage and needed a second job just to make ends meet, even though she is a frontline healthcare worker and should absolutely get better benefits and a better wage, but she doesn't have that in New York City of all places. And again, the author of the article gave her the impression that she was able to make her voice be heard on the Post. And then he eventually revealed to her that, yeah, he was actually making an article about her being an OnlyFans, running an OnlyFans page while also being a paramedic. And that also made her break down in tears on the phone, and she said, of course, that wasn't mentioned in the article at all. And then she even begged and pleaded the New York Post and Dean to not mention her name in this article. But no, her name was mentioned in this article, and her face is plastered just above the article. And the most fucked up thing about this is, above all else, above her not wanting her name to be mentioned in the article, and her name is mentioned anyway, and her not even wanting the article to be published in the first place, and of course the article was published, is that they contacted her family about this. Her family did not even know that she ran an OnlyFans page. This came as a surprise to them. And the most fucked up thing, even worse than that, is they contacted her employer about this. You see, part of the job of being a paramedic is you have to be appropriate both on and off duty, and of course she wasn't the most appropriate off duty because, well, she had an OnlyFans page. But, They contacted her employer about this, making her job be in jeopardy, and she is only 23 years old, and this piece of shit who authored this article is basically ruining the life of a young girl who is just making their way into the world and is trying to make ends meet by having a side job because they just don't make a livable enough wage with their primary job. Like, who the fuck cares that this woman ran an OnlyFans page? Who is it affecting? Who is it negatively harming? How does it impact her job in any sort of way? She keeps both her primary job and her secondary job separate, how she should. And she doesn't mention it to anyone in her real life. It was a secret from her family. It was a secret from her employers. Why is this newsworthy? Why do you have to snitch on her and put her job in jeopardy? Tell all the people who know her in real life about this. Like, why? What the fuck is the gain from this? Did Dean Balsa, whatever the fuck his stupid last name is, wake up one morning and be like, I want to ruin a young person's life today. Oh, there's this one young paramedic who runs an OnlyFans page, and he can't do that as a paramedic, so let me ruin this person's life. This should be so much fun, because this is just fucking really sick, gross shit that this person is doing. She worked her ass off to get that paramedic job. She just barely made it through paramedic school because she could barely cover the cost because she was working off of minimum wage. And you come here and shit all over that and be like, no, I don't like you running an OnlyFans page. I mean, because why else would they be running this smear against her? And I'm going to tell your employer about this. I'm going to tell your family about this. I'm going to ruin your life and make it a living fucking hell because good luck finding another job after this because this world doesn't take too kindly to sex workers for whatever stupid reason. So good luck with all that. And I want to mention that. I want to discuss that for a little bit. The stupid stigma surrounding sex workers in this country, and in this world, frankly. I take the rational approach and say the profession one chooses to pursue is the business of I and no one else, because if one is happy with the profession they choose to pursue, then who am I to judge? Who is anyone else to judge? If it makes them happy, again, then let them do whatever the fuck they want to do. Like, why do people have to be judgmental assholes because, oh, the person is a whore if they choose to pursue sex work? Oh, I don't like that. Stop being such a fucking Puritan, okay? It's the year 2020. We're heading into 2021, and we still have this stupid fucking mindset where we think sex work isn't real work. It should be frowned upon by society, even though the person pursuing that profession is an adult and can make decisions for themselves. No, we gotta act like what's best for them and be judgmental and shameful assholes. Get the fuck out of here. And also, let's talk about how erroneous it is that a paramedic worker makes an insufficient enough wage to the point where they have to take up a second job just to make ends meet. Like, that's absolutely fucking stupid because she is a frontline healthcare worker. She goes in ambulances and takes people to the hospital. And she is literally putting her life at risk because we are in the midst of a pandemic. New York City is one of the worst hit places for COVID. And she is out there going to other people's homes, not knowing what the fuck they might have, and taking that risk and taking them to the hospital where I'm sure there are a bunch of other COVID patients as well. And that is absolutely commendable. I have nothing but respect for this woman and other paramedics and EMTs, okay? They are devoting and sacrificing even their own lives for the health and safety of other people. And yet, they make an insufficient enough wage where they need a second job just to make ends meet. Like, that is absolutely reprehensible. That is absolutely erroneous for a job that puts this much at risk. I feel so bad for this woman. I really do. She is a first responder, again, putting so much at risk, who makes an insufficient wage, and she just wants to get by in this world, so she takes up a second job, and she is spat on and shat on because that second job involves her being provocative and removing her clothes. Oh no, oh the horror. There's a GoFundMe link in the description, and if you can't donate, at the very least, read her story. Hear her out. Hear her side of this, because it definitely deserves to be heard, and instead of shitting on these people for trying to make by in life, we should help them and advocate for actual change that would benefit these people who risk their lives for our health and safety and work insane hours every week for little payoff while we all just sit at home on our asses in quarantine. Anyway, sex work is work. Enough with the stupid shaming and judgment. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.